Good evening, everybody. Welcome to round 3 of the EBRC Invitational Championship, brought to you by PC Specialist and EDSL Sport. I'm Seb Scott. Joining me, as ever, is 2018 Esports WRC champion and FIA Junior WRC driver John Armstrong. Hello there, sir.
Good evening, Seb, and good evening to all the viewers. Very nice to be back, and can't wait to see the action in Germany. It's one of my all-time favourite events in real life and in game. So yeah, let's see how the guys get on today.
One of your all-time favourites, and I think it's fair to say from the performances yesterday, it's the favourite of Josh McElwain as well. He seems to be taking the fight up to James Morgan there. Really impressive stuff yesterday. What do you think, John?
Yeah, it was good to see Josh coming with good pace yesterday. You know, maybe it's a bit like the Irish lanes back home, a bit like the roads we get back home. But yeah, I think everyone was giving it their all, and it was really tricky conditions. You know, you got the first stage dry conditions, second stage wet, and you had to take the gamble with the tires. But you know, you're always going to go with that safe option. It would have been interesting to see if someone had taken soft slicks, but I think wet was the correct choice.
It would. I was going to say it would have been interesting, but as a decent esports jockey, mate, what would you have gone for? Would you have gone for wets or slicks when faced with a challenge like that?
It really depends. I think, you know, if you know what stage you're going to do, you can try these things out. You can see what the difference is. You know, if you're going to make up 15 seconds in the dry using the softs, are you going to be able to continue and keep that gap in the second stage with softs on wets? You know, that's something that you just have to weigh up. But I think the safe option was Winters in this case.
Winters. It's not quite that. It's not quite Monte Carlo yet, but we're just seeing.
Sorry. I mean wets. I was doing Monte Carlo at the weekend. That's why.
We're just seeing James Morgan flying through in the Mitsubishi Mirage there. But the wet conditions did catch a few people out, and it's proved quite troublesome for some. But I also think it's been able to actually allow those drivers that are really good at driving to get the best out of it. We've got the leaderboard here. James Morgan leads by 0.9 seconds over Josh McElwain, but Josh McElwain and Richard Crosia really were up there. I mean, to be fair, the top 6 are all quite up there. Matt Edwards down in 6th, only 4.4 seconds down after 2 stages. We've got another 2 stages to go today with one long one. So we start with a nice long fly on stage 3, and Will Crichton is about to get us going, John.
Yeah, that's it. 2 short stages to get us underway yesterday. The gaps were very close, as you said. So with the longer stage today, hopefully we'll see bigger gaps, and well, we want to see the action staying close, but it'll be interesting to see how the guys cope with the longer stage, that's for sure.
So we've already had it in. The long stage is stage 3, is dry, what we can see at the moment. Okay, it's visibility isn't 100%, but it's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. You can still see. Headlights aren't absolutely necessary, I wouldn't say. But stage 4's gonna be a bit wet, isn't it, John? It's half the distance. So my question to you here is, what do you do with setup and tyres? As we watch Will Crichton now, just seems a bit more confident now after yesterday.
Yeah, it seems like Will is getting to grips with the game a bit more, obviously new to this round, but going back to the question about what should you do for these 2 stages, I think because you've got this long stage on the dry, it's going to have to be soft tyres. You're going to make up so much time on this stage compared to if you used Winters again, if you used wet tyres. I think the difference between soft slicks and wets is too big for this long stage. But obviously you're going to have to nurse those slick tyres through the wet stage in stage 4.
Matt Edwards was saying during one of his stage ends yesterday, I found it quite interesting, that the compromise that he went for. He actually went with, I can't remember, I think it was wet tyres but a dry setup, or the other way round. What does he mean by that? What can you do with the car to actually be better in the wet and the dry?
I think you can, you know, you're going to go with the tyre choice, but you can also change the setup of the car as well. You can have, you know, softer springs, softer anti-roll bars, which will allow the car to roll more and not put as much emphasis on the tyre, not pushing on the tyre as much, so you get more body roll, which allows the car to sort of soak up the conditions without putting too much pressure on the tyres and then causing tyre slip. So yeah, you can certainly move around with the setup a bit to suit the conditions too.
So is this where, in a way, actually, because these guys, they're experts, they're the professionals in the real world of BRC, their real world knowledge is going to come into its own here, because they know how they can get the best out of the car in these mixed conditions that they actually get in real life.
Unseen square right.
Yeah, 100%. You know, a driver who knows his way around a car and what changes that he can do with the car that make him faster in certain conditions and he can get more out of the car. Yeah, 100%. It's the same in game. So I think it really pays off for a driver who understands how the car works and how the setup can influence that. You know, Matt Edwards is really experienced with that sort of thing, so he's obviously going to be able to tune his car to suit the conditions.
Speaking of experience and setup, there's another championship going on right now, the EBRC Championship. This is open to anybody registered with Motorsport UK. There's a few of you watching that I'm no doubt are already registered. If you win that championship, we're getting into a really crucial moment now. It's halfway there, there's 2 rounds to go. If you win that championship, you win a test in a real-life Ford Fiesta. It's either an R2 or a Rally 4. We're not sure what EDSL will provide, but it will be at least an R2. And I want to. We're not allowed to win it, sadly. Those of us that are in the championship that work for Motorsport UK, which I'm upset by. But what an amazing prize! It's unbelievable. Someone can literally go from playing a computer game to essentially could start their own rallying career at the end of the year, John.
It's absolutely unbelievable, you know, to even think about going from a video game to real life rallying. It's hard to comprehend, and you know, we're seeing this happen more and more. We're seeing people really look to gamers as the future of racing or rallying, and you know, I think it's a great opportunity for someone out there who wants to be a real rally driver. This is their opportunity to do that, and you know, they're going to get a taste of what it's like to drive a real rally car.
Well, you're one of those that in a unique position that's done both. Riding on board with Di Roberts now, and he's just up on the splits. Overcooked it there and tapped a Hinkelstein. Doesn't look like he's got too much damage, but you've got to be wary of those Hinkelsteins, John. We saw yesterday Will Crichton getting really caught out after what was a very good stage. And again, is Rupert Flynn overcooking it on wets there by the looks of things, John? A lot of tyre squeal. Doesn't seem to be much grip coming from that Ford Fiesta.
Yeah, he's just launched into that hairpin there, full drift mode on. But yeah, it's tricky. You know, you have to make that compromise. You're seeing another massive drift by Eamon Cretan. So it looks like the guys have went with wet tyres, which is an interesting choice. I mean, I would have went with the softs, I think, but we'll see at the stage ends. Hopefully we'll have a bit of an insight on what choice the guys have actually taken.
Definitely. I think this is the excitement and the intrigue here, that some guys will be going for the conservative approach, that they know that they can score big by just getting it across the finish line with no mistakes. Whereas the others, I tend to say those that are more confident in their ability, they'll be putting a lot of trust and faith in themselves to actually, you know what, let's gamble, let's put the slicks on, let's get a really good result on this long dry stage, and then we'll hope for the best when it comes to stage 4 later on, when it's apparently it's going to be chucking it down.
It's amazing just to have the choice of tyres, and you know, it brings in the strategy of real life rally events to be able to pick different tyre choices and manage the wear of those as well. It's very much like the real deal, and the stage is always evolving. It's the same for everyone going through the stage, but you know, compared to how these guys practice the stage, it could be a lot different than the way they face it in the rally. So it's very much like doing a real rally, and you know, you never really get the same conditions each time, especially when you're doing a club event like the guys are right now.
Yeah, well, we were just riding on board with Richard Crosia there as he started. Will Crichton looks to be coming to the end of his stage 3, so let's wait for his stage end interview now.
I took a bit of a gamble on slicks because this stage is dry and the next one's wet, but unfortunately I crashed quite a few times, and yeah, I got lost amongst the spectators, which got me a bit of a penalty.
Oh, that's a shame for Will there. Like we were just talking about, gambled on the slicks to try and make some time up, but almost the opposite happened in a way. He gambled thinking he'd have a good run on the dry, and he didn't. So now Will's going to be in a world of pain when it comes to stage 4, isn't he, John? What's it like driving on slick tyres in the pouring rain on Germany?
It is so difficult. It punishes you if you've got a really... Rupert Flynn's just caught the inside rocks on that hairpin.
Just got a stage end from Brian here.
That's the long one, just over 6 mile, I think. We'd 4 full wets on, just to be safe on this last stage.
So Brian Brady on wets 23.8 seconds faster than Will Crichton. So Will Crichton lost a lot of time there, John.
Yeah, it looks like Will Crichton just had a really bad stage. He gambled with the slick softs and it didn't pay off. And yeah, he's going to struggle a lot now in the wet stage 4. But yeah, we're seeing some good split times come through from guys further back. We're wondering, I really want to know what tire choice they're on. It's driving me insane just not knowing, but hopefully we'll know once they come to the stage end. It's really interesting stuff. So we're seeing... That's not what
We'll just go quiet here. We're going to Di Roberts now over the line. Let's hear from Di.
Tyres and struggling on the square junctions, really. So, no, all good. Still no damage, so all good for us.
Big smile from Di Roberts there. You might have seen him on the first round. Di had a very second-hand looking Volkswagen Polo GTI R5 when it came to the end of Sweetland.
Up to the first split. He's 2.7 seconds down. I think, judging by that split time, he must have taken the wet tyres.
Yeah, it looks so, because I'm going to assume Di Roberts was on slicks there in that case. Although maybe Josh had a poor start, he's only 0.9 seconds down off James Morgan, the rally leader at the moment. Completely wide open. Eamon Creedon, though, with a scorcher there, 5 seconds up on Di Roberts.
Made a big mistake at the start of that stage, cut something that I shouldn't have cut, and paid a bit of a price for it, but very happy with how it went otherwise.
5 seconds up with a mistake, so he's got to be happy with that, despite the mistake.
Yeah, that's really good going, I think. Eamon must have been on the tyres as well. We're just following Matt Edwards. Seems to be having a good stage so far as well. He's green on the blitz, so let's see if he can carry that through to the finish.
Yeah, definitely. Am I right in saying here, John? Do we get more tyre squeal and more noise from the tyre if they're on wet on a dry surface?
Yeah, you'll be getting more slip from the tyre, and because of the more slip, you will certainly hear more audio from the tyres squeaking. So yeah, we're just seeing Rupert Flynn coming up to the line.
Hinkelsteins are getting in my way, but I think I should be alright.
Hinkelsteins are getting in my way. Well, that was a problem for Petter Solberg and quite a few other drivers as well on their visits to Rally Germany, but I've got a feeling it's you getting in the way of the Hinkelsteins, I'm afraid, Rupert. On board with James Williams now, 2.4 seconds down overall in 4th. That's as of the end of stage 2, and James Morgan, our rally leader, now takes to the stage. We're getting excited now, John.
This is getting...
Is he on wets? Is he on slicks?
Yeah, it's getting into the interesting part of the event, and the changeable weather is certainly making it more exciting. He's 0.7 down in the first split, so not really an indication right now what tyres he's taking.
Just listening there, this is pure guesswork, but I'm hearing a lot of tyre squeal on board with James Morgan there. Same for Matt Edwards. Dale Furness, we can't hear tyre squeal here, he's going in a straight line, but let's see what Dale's got to say.
I think with the wet set at the time was respectable enough. We're half a second behind Matt going to the last stage, so we've got to push.
Well, he's fighting for a top 5 position, it seems. He's just behind Matt Edwards, and Matt Edwards is in 6th, but it's only 4.4 to the leader, so anything can happen. We're seeing Matt come through now. I'm telling you, I think Matt's on wet tyres, John. There's a lot of squeal coming from him under braking there.
Yeah, but just before that, I've seen Richard Crozier in the last split time, 10 seconds up. So I think he's definitely on the softs, slicks. It's going to be...
this is what we want to see now.
He's
Richard
coming,
Crozier's coming over the line. What can he do? Whoa! 6 minutes! That's a big one.
Good. Yeah. We've gone with slicks for this loop. Car felt nice. It's nice to get stuck into a long stage like that with the car handling so well. Didn't leave too much on the table.
Didn't leave too much on the table. Well, you're going to have to leave a lot on the table on stage 4, Richard, if you want to get that car across the line with slicks on. What can Richard do from there? If he's 10 seconds up on Rupert Flynn with a good stage time, Richard could be getting the lead here. He's got a decent cushion.
I think we could see him going into the rally lead right now, but the question is, can he carry that in the last stage? It is a shorter stage that he has to nurse those slick tyres through. But look, Josh McAleeren, 7 seconds down at this point. He's still got 2 sectors to go.
Oh, this is nail-biting stuff now. Josh McAleeren, how much is he going to lose to Richard Crosia? That must mean Richard is probably the only top 5 guy on slicks at the moment then.
Yeah, he's taken the gamble, but is it going to pay off? Can he hold it in the last stage? So Matt Edwards is now heading up towards the finish line.
A 2-time BRC champion, but let's see how he goes on in the virtual world.
We went on the wets because I think probably the safer option for this one, but certainly the next stage I didn't fancy it on slick, so we made the conservative choice.
12.9 seconds down off Richard Crosia's time on that stage, John.
And now 16 seconds.
That's a
16
lot of time.
seconds overall. I think Richard should be able to hold on to that now on the last stage, but anything can happen. He could make a little mistake, just outbraking himself on these slick tyres in the wet conditions, but we'll see how he faces the last stage.
It's on an absolute knife edge. James Morgan is coming to the end of his stage 3 now, and this is the one we need to watch out for. Is he on slicks? Is he on what? He's 4 seconds down, John.
He's doing well. That's not a huge amount of time. I think if he can hold it within 5-6 seconds, he'll be able to take that back on the last stage.
10.4 from Josh McAleeren there. That's a big old gap there.
Yeah, it was tricky to get through that one in the dry. Started to get a little wobbly in the middle, so no, have enough to get through it and onto the last one.
So it seems like Richard has gambled here, and it's going to pay off for the stage win, I think.
I think James.
But let's see what James Williams.
James Williams seems to be on the wet tyres as well, judging by the time and also the body language of that car coming into the junction there. There was not much grip coming from the tyres, but yeah, he's got 1 sector to go here.
Some lovely shots there with James Morgan flying through. Oh, it's a bit of a mistake there.
Oh, he just clipped the rock.
It's a big mistake there. More time lost, and you do not want to lose time on this stage if you're on wets, do you?
He's got away with it without any major damage, which is the main thing.
I love the brake disc glow on those cars that you get to see when they're heavy under braking and the red glow. Oh, it gets me. It gets me going, John. Calm me down as James Williams, 13 seconds down.
No, it was an okay stage. It wasn't my best, but it was just the second half there. We just got a lot of understeer and just lost time there. So.
Okay, one split. Last split here. Let's see what James Morgan's on. 7 seconds down. Richard Crosia might take the lead with this. Oh, Richard Crosia. I've never actually physically met you, but I can already tell you I love you for doing this gamble. Thank you so much. This is incredible stuff.
That's just what we love to see, isn't it? We love to see someone just take the risk, and it may pay off, it may not. We've seen Sebastian Loeb is a master of always seem to pick the right tyre choice. Maybe Richard Crosia is within the British Championship.
Is this our Spain 2018, John?
Yeah.
Germany, which is essentially our Ypres rally. James Morgan's going to cross the line. Where's he going to end up? Richard Crosia is leading by 7 seconds over James Morgan.
Stage number 3 is done. That was quite a tricky stage, doing the long stage on wet tyres. Just tried to be extra smooth. I wasn't sure what tyres to go on, whether to use slicks or wets for that one.
I tell you what, if you had a crystal ball, I don't even think your crystal ball would be able to call that one. John, what did you make of that?
Oh, that was crazy, but I think James Morgan can do this. He's got the wet tyres on, he just said that, so can he take 8.4 seconds out of Richard Crosia on the last stage? It's going to be a close one.
Oh, Well, I disagree. Brave move like that from Richard Crosia. He deserves this rally win if he keeps it on the road now. Rally leaderboard. Richard Crosia takes the lead from James Morgan. 7-second lead. Josh McElwain third, 10 seconds down. James Williams fourth. Matt Edwards has moved up to fifth, 16 seconds down, but separated by 0.2 of a second with Dale Furness literally on his rear bumper in sixth. Stage 4 is going to be an absolute corker now. For those of you that are watching that aren't aware, PC Specialist has brought this amazing esports competition to us. Thank you very much to EBRC. If you're to PC Specialist even. If you're interested in buying a gaming PC, head to their website. They've got loads of builds ready to go. And if you use the code EBRC, you'll get yourself 30 quid off. Okay, we're wet and we're on board with Will Crichton in 11th. He's 1 minute down, so there's not really much he can do here. I hate to say it, but already seeing how tricky it is for Will. He's on slicks and he's already hit to a tree jump.
Yeah, it's so hard to keep control of the car with the slick tyres on wet surface. And we started off here in the section that is under the trees. Very, very dark as well. You know, it's hard to see the road. It's hard to read the conditions. Can he make it around this hairpin? It's another half overshoot. He's going to struggle getting through this stage 100%.
Do you know, I've done this stage a couple of times in the wet. Not greatly, to be honest, and I've made the mistake as well a couple of times of opting for slicks in the wet. There's just too many hard braking zones to get it right, and you slide off, and those Hinkelsteins, they bite hard.
Hinkelsteins are just waiting to catch you out, and you know you want to stay away from them at all costs.
So, tips for those on slick tyres, John. What have they got to do? In other words, what has Richard Crosia got to do to maintain his lead and win this rally?
For me, I think the hardest part about driving on slicks and wet is just picking your braking points. It's very easy to brake and then just lock up all four wheels of the car. And what you have to do is come off the brakes again, get the car to re-grip again, and then regain your composure. So it's a very difficult task, and it's not an easy one to get through the stage and you know, minimise the time loss. We'll see how he goes though. It's still very much possible.
Stark contrast to stage 3 here. Visibility. It's supposed to be daytime, but I'd say visibility is even worse here than on stage 3. When the guys were running with the lights on, a lot of people are still running with the lights on here, but they don't have lamp pods, so it's made that much harder.
Yeah, and obviously if you've knocked out a headlight or two, it's going to be even more difficult. We're just seeing Di Roberts start the stage. I've noticed Di's getting a lot of understeer out of that Polo R5, and perhaps just his setup is not optimal for these wet conditions. But oh, it's a big overshoot!
Oh, Di Roberts! He's taken our cameraman out as well.
He has. He's on his way again though, that's the main thing, but that was a huge overshoot, just completely missed his braking point. But thankfully he had an empty junction to somewhat aim that Polo up.
It makes me wonder how much practice Richard Crosia has been putting in. Maybe he's confident in himself, he can drive these slicks on the wet surface, and that's why he's gone for it, because so far 3 people in, 2 people overshot at that first major braking zone. Difficult stuff here. Brian Brady now is flying through. Decent car control there, considering the surface is essentially an ice rink now.
Yeah, that's it. You just have to get a feel for the conditions, feel what the road is doing and how the car's reacting, but you need to read the road as well. And you know, you can see the shiny bits on the road, and you can see the bits that have grip, and we've obviously got a bit of changeable conditions in this stage too.
Oh, Will Crichton, he's finished the stage, but he's parked himself up next to a spectator there. We've got a stage end from him.
The final stage of the EBRC Germany, so yeah, I was on slicks in there. It was pretty wet, so driving like a bit of a granny, but I really enjoyed the whole rally, and thanks to the guys for organising it.
I mean, if Will was driving like a bit of a granny, I'd hate to see what he'd be doing if he was driving like a boy racer in those conditions.
That was
I mean, fair play to Will.
That was quite a stage finish.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go out in style, that's the way to do it. Fair play to Will Crichton though, you know, he's picked this up pretty fresh out of the box, and he's just gone for it. So full credit to him, as Brian Brady's hitting the yellow boards and the red boards are in sight. Hits the brakes really hard. There's a hay bale there with your name on it, Brian. He just misses it though.
I don't know whether to blame myself or my navigator, but we ended up doing recce for that stage the wrong way around. So that was a new stage to me in this car.
Oh dear, he did recce the wrong way on the stage. That's not what you want to do. You'll be able to pick out some landmarks, I suppose, but your braking points and your apexes are going to be way off if this is your first pass.
I think that can confuse you quite a lot if you've you got used to a stage going in one direction, you come out of the opposite direction. You know, you're trying to remember the course only in reverse. It's very, very much a difficult task to do, and yeah, you want to practice these stages as much as you can to get the best performance.
How many passes do you do, John, before you're in a decent rhythm on a stage?
Oh, it's a good question. You know, you'd easily want to do. It depends what you're aiming for. If you're aiming for, you know, like the world record, you'll have to just do it as many times as it takes to learn every inch of the track.
Overshot the first hairpin and dropped about 5 to 10 seconds in there altogether, but no, happy enough. We got to the end of the actual in one piece.
So yeah, I was just saying, you know, if you want to aim for the top times in esports, you have to learn every inch of the track pretty much, but hopefully one day in the far future, you know, we might be able to have new tracks all the time, but for now this is the way rally games are. You're able to learn the tracks, and yeah, we just have to learn as much as we can and go as fast as we can, just as you would in real life. And you know, in real life you see events, they use the same stage year in year out, so it's no different than that.
To stop. Just as Eamon Creedon crosses the line to put himself, well, stage leader at the moment.
Get into the rally without doing too much damage to the car. I think the conditions suited me,
so he's at least 7th, Eamon Creedon after that. He's got a healthy margin over Di, Brian and Will there, so, you know, he could be in himself at least, you know, 6th or 7th, at least. Let's see what he does. Dale Furness now. Dale Furness is 6th at the moment after stage 3. Seems to be on a bit of a flyer at the moment. That car's on the ragged edge. Is that where you want to be in the wet?
Looks like he's finding good traction currently. He's getting nice late braking as well. Here's Richard Crosia. How's he going to cope with these slick tyres on the wet? Getting balls of understeer, but not too bad.
No, oh my god, he's gone green while on slicks.
Can he do it? Can he do it? Let's see. He's I think he's got the measure of it. He's making sure to brake nice and early, but trail brake into the corner, carry the speed. Looks like he's coping okay. It's Matt Edwards in the stage now.
Yeah, I mean, bit squirrely there for Matt, but he's kept it tidy. Nice little jump there, and then it's really hard to judge this braking where Matt was entering. Then as we go to Rupert Flynn across the line, and Rupert Flynn hits a bale. I think
overall, pretty happy with this stage. I think this event is one to forget.
Into turn, up and happy left.
Happy, but I don't think he was happy with the way he finished there. It seems to be more of a challenge to actually brake in time for that 90 left at the finish there for more than anything else.
Yeah, I think the marshals are a bit busy putting that bale back in place after everyone's gone on over the finish line. But we've just seen Richard Crozier still not losing too much time. Dale Furness comes over the line.
Oh, that's a good time from Dale. Doesn't look like we're hearing from Dale, but yeah, massive time there. Big improvement by the looks of it on his gap to Eamon Creedon. So let's see where that puts him overall once the rest of our top 5 come through. Josh McAlane, 3rd at the moment, 10 seconds down on our rally leader Richard Crozier. He did take a stage, and Richard Crozier now, you can see him flying through. He's on slick.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh!
He loses it! Richard, come on!
Oh,
he's reset as well!
It's over! He's got reset back to the stage. That's a time penalty plus the time he lost spinning and getting pointed back in the right direction. That's a big shame. I think he was going to be able to do it.
Adding insult to injury or what, going off and then resetting. Is that did the game automatically reset him, or did Richard reset himself there?
I think the game automatically reset him, or he could have done it himself. That's such a big shame. That's how difficult it is to control these cars with soft tyres in the wet.
Oh, well, let's see what he can do to make up for it. At the moment, Dale Furness has now leapfrogged him.
Spin on about the fourth last corner of the rally. Dropped about 20 seconds. Stage was going really well up till then as well. Just tricky on slicks in those conditions, so we're just trying to survive.
I feel for Richard there. Richard was my man of the moment for this rally, and then, you know what, it wasn't even that big of a mistake either, was it, John? It was just a slight off, and it makes you wonder where he would have gone if it wasn't for that reset.
Yeah, it's just that can happen so easily. He lost the rear of the car coming into that right-hander and couldn't catch it again. You're seeing James Williams make his way through the start of the stage under the trees. Looking like he's going okay. Matt Edwards coming up to the finish line.
So where does Matt put himself? Looks like Dale Furness now. Dale Furness could be up for a
lucky
podium.
to get away with a bit of an off in that one. Must have taken a bit too much out the tyres on the dry stage with the wet tyres on, understeered off into one of the Hinkelsteins. But
Bit of a run-in with some Hinkelsteins there for Matt Edwards. He joins the rest of the EBRC field there. I don't think there's a driver yet to have not said hello to Mr. Hinkelstein yet. They just stop you in the tracks, don't they? I mean, they're built and designed to stop tanks, so it's no wonder they stop an R5 car. James Morgan now 7 seconds down on Richard Crosia, but Richard has lost a lot of time on this stage, so it's game on between James Morgan and Josh McAlea now. Josh needs to outpace James Morgan by 3 seconds to take this rally victory. It's still all to play for. It's Josh over the line. Stage leader at the moment. Is it enough to take the win?
Yeah, we had a good clean rally and no mistakes, so hopefully we had a good result and on to the next one.
So James Morgan will not know Richard Crosia has gone off right now, John. What's the pressure like in these circumstances? You've got a 7-second gap to make up in the wet. You don't even know your opponent's on slicks in the wet. What's the mindset?
You just have to do the best job you can. You know, James Morgan might be getting split times coming in. He'll have a rough idea of how he's doing on the stage, but he won't know who's the fastest through the stage so far. So he just has to do the best job he can and carry as much speed as he can.
As we see James Williams going a bit off-road there, considering it's a tarmac rally. The boys are taking a few cuts where they can here. John, is that recommended in the wet?
It's sometimes you're better to stay on the road. You get better traction on the tarmac and you're not unsettling the balance of the car. But some places, yeah, you'll want to take a cut.
I think a quick pull of the handbrake for James there.
It wasn't much grip, but happy with second at the minute, and it was a good fight with Matt there at the end. So happy to get that one and yeah, move on to the next round.
So where does that put? So Dale Furness at the moment could take second. He's definitely got third by the looks of it. We're just waiting for James Morgan to cross the line now. Absolute mega drive from Dale Furness. Heart still goes out to Richard Crosia. Can he hold fifth? We need to see what James Morgan does here. James would have to make a pretty big mistake, it's fair to say.
Yeah, he's coming up now the last couple of corners. I think he's got everything under control. It looked like, you know, before the stage, bar Richard being his competitor, looked like he had the rally in his hand. So let's see.
Can James Morgan make it 3 for 3? He crosses the line. That's it, he's done it. Third EBRC Invitational victory.
Quite a tricky stage that one, so just cruise through there. And yeah, it's good to take a hat-trick of wins. I think I just beat Josh by 4 seconds, so it's a close rally. So on to the last round in Scotland.
So 1 round to go. James Morgan has taken his third rally win of the season, you could say, by 1 second over Josh McAlea on stage 4. So Josh McAlea, again, he was just there. What's he got to do to take a victory away from James Morgan? Or can James Morgan make it 4 from 4 in Scotland? Let's take a look at our final rally leaderboard now. James Morgan first, Josh McAlea second, Dale Furness 6th to 3rd in one stage. Absolutely brilliant from him. James Williams, he must be kicking himself just 0.2 seconds down from a podium spot. And Matt Edwards rounds out the top 5. I feel for Richard Crosia still though. Absolute brilliant drive from him, John. What did you make of it all?
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant, the chance that Richard Crosia took with that tyre choice. It's a shame he had that spin. I think he would have been able to do it, would have been able to hold on to that lead and gap that he had going into this stage. But you know, fair play to James Morgan. It's 3 out of 3, a hat trick of wins. Can he make it 4 out of 4? Let's see. I don't think anyone's going to bet against him now.
If you want to be part of the action too, head to the British Rally Championship website, britishrallychampionship.co.uk. Sign up for the EBRC. You might already be registered. The stages are the same stages that you've just seen. 4 stages across Baumholder, the same conditions. Fiesta R2s only, and if you win the championship, you will win yourself a test in a real-life Fiesta R2 rally car at the end of the year with EDSL Sport. If you're totally new to esports, or you're in esports but you want to up your PC game, then head to PC Specialist and use the code EBRC to get yourself 30 quid off a nice new gaming PC. And thank you very much, John. What are you looking forward to next time out?
I can't wait to see all the guys tackle Scotland now. I think it's another unique location, something a little bit different there too. You got very fast stages, deep ditches, and log piles at the side of the road to catch everyone out. So we'll see how the guys get on. I think we'll see really good action there as well. And I really enjoyed Germany. Thought it was fantastic action. The form of strategy came in was really exciting to see too. So can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, absolutely great stuff in Germany, but Scotland's up next, and I must say Scotland is my favourite. So we'll see you all then. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.